Okay, so there are two things that can really help a person navigate an Access database when they're not a great Access user and haven't been through a class the way you have and have gotten all this knowledge. So I'm going to open the switchboard. When I think of somebody using the switchboard and clicking to look at the customer form, when they were done looking at the customers or navigating through the customers, they might not know how to even close this form. So in design view of this form, I could actually put a couple of command buttons on here. Let me put on a button to close the form. This is a form operation and it's close form, and I'll say close the form and finish. And so there's a button to help them do that. Now that could be up here. Um, it could be anywhere. It doesn't really matter where you put the button. But let me show you what happens now. Now they open it, and then when they're done they can close the form. And then clicking on it back and forth, it takes them back to the switchboard. So you can see how handy that is. You can't do that with a report. Unfortunately, reports can't take command buttons, so they'd actually have to figure out that with reports, but it's really nice for forms. And it just takes a second. You go to Design View, you find a place to put the button. It's a form operation to close the form. Make sure you say text. I think that's much better than the picture, and finish. And now I will save this, go to Form View. I can use my button and I can navigate this way. So that's one thing you can really help people do, is by putting on command buttons to help them make choices. The other thing that you can do is you can make sure that when somebody opens a database that the first thing they see is the switchboard. That would be really helpful, because if they just open a database and saw this, they wouldn't have the help of the switchboard unless they accidentally opened it to see it. So if you want that to happen, the way you set that up is to go to File and Options. You go to Current Database and you tell it that you want to display the form switchboard. And then you say OK, and it'll tell you it won't happen until you reopen the file. So I'm going to close this database and I'm going to open it up again. And as you can see, it opened showing the switchboard. Now there are other choices you can make. You can have the navigation pane not even show, things like that, but that's the most helpful thing you can do. And then they can start to make some good choices. They can see these are reports they can look at. And you might even put in a report that has some instructions about how to close a report. So anyway, that is it. That's the entire process for building an Access database, and I expect that your head is swimming with all this information, but you can watch these videos again and again as you're working on your practice project to remind you of all the things that you can do.